Hey everyone, Stu here. We're gonna do a 70% hydration to 48-hour cold fermented dough. We're gonna do a video comparing this dough to a 24-hour direct method. So basically it's the same procedure, except for instead of saving the dough for another 24 hours, after we combine the poolish with our flour, we're gonna use the dough that same day. And that's what we're gonna do tomorrow. So right now, let's get started on making our dough. All right, so we have our doppio flour, our olive oil, we have our sea salt from Sicily, and we have our poolish right here. Let's just take a look. It's been oh, look at that poolish. It's been coming to room temperature for an hour. Oh, that's really nice. Look at that. Look at those air pockets. So we're gonna take the poolish and right away, we're gonna put it right in our mixing bowl. Oh man, this poolish looks so good. We are going to melt the poolish with the water. I pour directly all of the water into our bowl. So we're just going to mix this up until the poolish is dissolved. And this should take about just a couple minutes. Now we're going to add our salt. While I mix this, we are going to use 25 grams of salt. We're going to melt the salt in our poolish and water mix. Basically, you're going to separate it just enough, because all we're going to do is we're going to add flour right back to this mixture. But this will help the poolish mix more evenly by adding the water into it. And now we just need 555 grams of 00 flour. We're going to add our flour to the mixture. All right, so basically just combine all the ingredients here until the poolish starts to get really mixed in. You kind of want to fold it over. Just going to do like a folding technique. Make sure to get all the flour up the side. Remember, you're always preserving your ratio of water to flour. We're going to add our olive oil. Save that for later. Okay, mix that in as well. This is the consistency of after you're done mixing it. We're going to work the dough on the counter. We're going to get it to a smooth ball. What we're going to do, we're just going to get a little flour down here on the counter. Not too much, right? Just enough to work the dough, because you don't want to put too much flour because you will change the ratio. Now we want to work the dough, right? So we're just going to fold it over on itself. So just going to knead the dough, fold it. Of course, the dough is sticky, so you kind of want to work with it really quickly. And then you'll notice as you're working it, it's going to start getting smooth, a little bit smoother, a little bit better mixed. It's nothing like feeling the dough yourself with your hands. So you might do this for about 10-15 minutes until you start seeing the dough just get a little bit smoother. So as we're working the dough here, I can see it is getting a little bit more smooth. That's how I can tell it's almost ready to make the ball. Okay, I'm gonna make the ball now. I'm gonna put a little bit of olive oil on my hands. All right, see how we're folding it over on itself to make the ball. That is really sticky. Just gonna get a little bit more olive oil. Ah, there we go. Sometimes you get a little bit of olive oil in your hands and it really helps. Oh, there we go. A couple more times. You don't want to work it too much. Once you start getting the nice smooth ball, we can stop. Almost. All right, there we go. Okay, there we go. You can see nice smooth dough ball here. What we're gonna do is we're going to cover it and let it rest for about 15-20 minutes. All right, guys, we're back. It's been about, I don't know, 18 minutes or so. So we're gonna take a look at our dough here. Oh, wow, that looks really great. Nice and smooth, perfect. All right, so we are going to get the rest of the oil that we had here, almost the rest of it. I'm gonna put a little bit of oil on top, and now we're just gonna lift it up, and we're gonna fold our dough into our ball again. And it's just, oh, this is nice. I can see how nice and strong the gluten structure has gotten. This is really good. Wow, I don't think we even need to do this anymore. I don't know if we could see how nice and smooth that dough ball is. All right, so what we're gonna take the rest of our oil. Now we're just gonna take our ball. We're gonna place it just like that. We cover it up nice and tight. And now I'm gonna put this in the fridge, and then I'll see you guys tomorrow. Today we are going to do our double fermented dough versus our 24-hour pre-fermented direct dough. And basically we're gonna see, what's the difference? Is it a fluffier, crispier crust? Is it more fragrant, more digestible? Does it taste better? So we're gonna check that out today. So right now I have my 48-hour dough right here, and I'm gonna make the dough balls, and we're gonna put it in our proofing box, and then we're gonna let that proof for 1 to 2 hours. All right, let's see how our dough is. Not bad. So it didn't quite double in size, but pretty close. All right, so now of course we want to preserve the bottom of this, right? We don't want to confuse the top and the bottom. So I'm going to flip this down. This is going to be the new bottom, and then the bottom here is going to stay on top. We want to try to do it as quickly as possible. All right, there we go. Look at that. So you can tell it's filled with air right now. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to cut some strips. We're going to make our balls. I can feel the dough is like a little bit sticky. If you have to, you don't want to really change the hydration, but you can put a little flour on your hands, make it a little bit less sticky. So what I do is do about 2 to 3 finger lengths apart in the dough box, or they will touch, and then it'll be hard to separate them. So now we're going to cover this up, and we're going to let this proof for about 1 to 2 hours. Hey guys, all right, so we're back. Now we're going to do our 24-hour pre-fermented dough, or direct method. Now, as I've said before on the channel, I'm not an authority on making pizza and pizza dough at all. I've been inspired by other people that I've seen on YouTube, like Vito Jacopelli. But I decided, you know what, I'm gonna film, my pizza journey here with some of these techniques. And I'm just gonna put a little oil on the counter, and, and just make it fun for maybe people to get inspired by. I don't know, maybe you can see that you can do it. I mean, I was definitely intimidated to do this at first, make pizza from scratch at home. And, hopefully I can inspire someone to also do this. Okay, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna work the dough now, right? And basically, what am I doing? I'm folding the dough in on itself. I'm pulling out and I'm folding it over. I'm using the other hand to fold it over as well. Your hands are going to get very messy. Don't worry. Still very sticky, but I'm going to see if I can make the ball here. So sticky right now. I'm actually going to leave it. I'm going to let the dough rest. All right, guys. So I'm back. I forgot to mention, always cover your dough, right? So I put a cover on it. So remember, it was getting very sticky. And so we covered the dough. And we're going to see if we let it relax a little bit, if we can now handle the dough a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little olive oil on my hands. And this is a trick you can do. If it gets too sticky, just let the dough relax. If we can get it up. So there we go. And now I'm gonna fold the dough onto itself. All right, there we go. Look at that. So you just gotta stick with it, guys. All right, I can see there's an air pocket. You see there's an air pocket forming there. So what that's telling me is the dough wants to relax a little bit. I'm just gonna do a little bit because we don't want the top to start breaking a little bit, right? Just gonna put a little bit of oil, right? All right. So now we're gonna let the dough relax for a little bit longer, for about an hour. And then we're gonna make our dough balls. All right, see you then. Okay guys, so it's been about an hour. So let's take a look at our dough here. Wow, that really doubled up in size. Let's put a little flour in our hands. And we're just gonna reform the ball. Wow. So I reformed the ball. That's what we're gonna do right now. And we're just gonna let it rest just for another 10 minutes. And then we're gonna form our balls. So let's keep it covered. Another 10 minutes. Be right back. All right, guys, so we let it rest for another 10 minutes. Let's see, it looks pretty good. Look at that. That gluten structure looks very nice. All right, so now we're gonna make our dough balls. I'm gonna throw a little flour on top. All right, we'll see you in an hour. Hey guys, like magic, check it out, we're outside. This is my new setup. We're back, we're doing our comparison with our 48-hour double fermented pizza and our 24-hour direct method. Got my setup outside, got the oven heating up. All right, looks like we're getting up to temp, over 650, almost 700. All right, guys, so we got our two doughs here. We have our double fermented 48-hour dough, and then we have our 24-hour direct method pre-fermented dough, of course. So let's start. We'll start with our 24-hour direct method dough. Let's get a little of our flour, our semolina. Put a little bit on here. Let's put a little bit more flour down. All right, so this is our 24-hour dough. Wow, it's stretching already. Not me even doing anything. Get some sauce on there. Gonna put a little fresh parm down. Of course, when you're doing a taste test, always got to do a margarita, right? I'm just gonna put down a little basil. All right, guys, gonna finish it off with a little bit of olive oil, of course. A little flour on the edge. Get the pizza up there. 1, 2, 3. There we go. All right, 1, 2, 3. There we go. Nice. You guys can see that at home right there, but it's really perfect char on the crust there. All right, let's check the bottom. Just a couple seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, that looks pretty good. All right, but look at this pizza right here, guys. Look at that. Oh, listen to that crunch. Soft and crunchy right there. Beautiful. All right, but we got one more pizza to make, guys. One more flour. We're gonna do our 48-hour double fermented dough. Toss a couple times in the semolina. It's a little hot here today, so that's probably part of the reason why the dough is so stretchy. Let's get our San Marzano sauce, Parmigiana. Okay, we're gonna do our basil. All right, let's get our fresh mozzarella. All right, so I'm gonna drop a little olive oil on top, a little flour. There we go, 1, 2, 3. Look at that, one shot. All right, guys. All right, let's give it a spin, guys. All right, got a nice char on there. All right. All right, let's check out this pie, guys. All right, look at that crust. That looks pretty good. All right, guys, so let's do a side-by-side comparison here. All right, we have our direct method dough right here, and then we have our 48-hour double fermented. Let's do that taste test right here. I'm gonna do a side-by-side comparison here, guys. This is our 48-hour double fermented dough, and this is our 24-hour. As you can see from the crust, and I just know from experience as well, that the 24-hour direct method, it will still be puffy, but look at the difference here. So it's puffy, but not quite full with air. And you can check out this slice right here. How many more air pockets are in there? Can you see that, guys? All right, but we gotta do the taste test though. All right, let's start with the 48-hour double fermented. Oh, it's really good. Crust is nice and puffy, fragrant. And now this is the 24-hour direct method. This did come out of the oven sooner, so might get a little advantage there, but let's try it. No, really good. It's still really good. I gotta say, guys, it's pretty close on this one. But I gotta say, if you want a little bit fluffier, a little bit more fragrant, a little bit more full of air, then of course just let your dough stay in the fridge for another 24 hours and have that double fermentation process take hold, and then you will have a little bit more fragrant, a little bit better tasting crust, I gotta say. But both are pretty close. You know what? If you're in a pinch, you know what? Just do that pre-fermentation. Just at least do that poolish, and then you have a dough the next day. You can have it ready in a couple hours. All right, guys. So thank you for joining me for this video. I hope you like my new setup here. I'll see you guys next time.